Emerald Fennell, the director and writer of Promising Young Woman a few years ago, brings us her follow up. This one will be divisive, I believe, but you can check it out now on Amazon Prime. Let's talk about Saltburn. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new film Saltburn. This was in theaters briefly and is now available on Amazon Prime to check out there. It's been nominated for 2 Golden Globe Awards, one for Best Actor for Barry Keoghan and Best Supporting Actress for Rosamund Pike. I don't think the Oscars will probably give this one too much notice. I mean, it may be on a couple of the short lists, but I would be shocked if we saw any Saltburn nominations at the Oscars this year, at least in the major categories. But in any event, let's talk about this movie here in just a second. First, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We do movie and TV reviews here, and just about every day something new goes up on the channel. So I always try to keep it fresh, post something new for you. So please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, hit that like button too. That helps the channel out tremendously. So, all right. So I saw this in theaters a few weeks ago, and it was one that I really needed to kind of think about, contemplate, and then I started catching, some of the popular holiday movies, so I was like, okay, let me review those, and so this kind of got shifted a little bit to the back burner. But then last week it appeared on Amazon Prime, so I thought, well, this is the perfect time now to review Saltburn. So essentially, the movie takes place in the early 2000s in England, and it follows some Oxford University students, specifically one named Oliver, played by Barry Keoghan, who becomes obsessed with another wealthy student named, I forget his name, but played by Jacob Elordi, who I just watched as Elvis in the Priscilla movie a few weeks ago. And so he invites Oliver to spend the summer with him and his family at their crazy big estate. And we see that Oliver comes from very, very humble, family and upbringing and all of this. So he is fascinated and becomes more than fascinated, obsessed, one would say, with the wealthy. So this one is getting comparisons to Brideshead Revisited, which I sort of know the basics of that, and I can see some comparisons there. But also The Talented Mr. Ripley, which I have not seen. So I admit I can't really give a comparison with really either of these things, but I know the basic premise of Brideshead Revisited, and yeah, I mean this sort of kind of falls into line with that. But we've got some other people in this movie as well that you will know and hopefully like. I mentioned Rosamund Pike already because she is nominated, but you have Carey Mulligan, who was the star of Fennell's previous movie, Promising Young Woman, and of course we just saw her beautiful, beautiful work in the movie Maestro on Netflix, which I gave an A to. I think she will be a front runner for Best Actress, along with Lily Gladstone from Killers of the Flower Moon and Emma Stone from Poor Things, which I just watched the other day. I'll have to review that for you. But Carey Mulligan, she's only in this for a few scenes, but of course, leaving her mark as always. She's just such an excellent actress. And then Richard E. Grant as the patriarch of the rich family. He's been doing things for many, many years. He was I think nominated for Can You Ever Forgive Me a few years ago, which was a great movie, but you'll recognize him from something or other, no doubt. So this movie, like I said up top, I think it's going to be divisive for people because it is definitely weird in moments. It's got that sort of weird for weird's sake in certain parts, but as Oliver's obsession kind of deepens, and we kind of see what he's all about, he also has a sexual obsession with Jacob Elordi's character. I'm going to get the name for him. That would be Felix Catton. And he becomes obsessed with Felix. He does very, I don't know, odd, maybe sexual things. This movie is very, very free about its sexuality, wearing that directly on its sleeve. So much so that, there is full frontal from Barry Keoghan in this movie, which I have to respect and also love to see that. Look, I'm a Barry Keoghan fan. Banshees of Inisherin, which he was in last year. I don't know if he got nominated for that. I think he might have, though, for Best Supporting Actor. But he was excellent in that movie, and he's been great in pretty much everything I've seen him in. And he's been acting since he was, much younger. But the last few years, man, he's been really picking some interesting projects. And this film, almost kind of relies on how strong his performance is because it's so key to everything in this movie. The rich people, yeah, I mean, there's some good performances there. Rosamund Pike, of course, gives a great performance, and Carey Mulligan as the friend or whatever. I mean, but a lot of the commentary portion of this movie is, oh, rich people are this and they're that, and some of the things we've heard about rich people before. They're out of touch and they're just so quirky and weird and eccentric, and they don't work, and X, Y, and Z. Yeah, there's some of that here. There's the commentary. I think on that is not as sharp as the commentary on, let's say the male gaze in Promising Young Woman. But it's still there. It's just, I don't know that we have any new things to say about the rich necessarily in this movie. And that's why the performance of Key Hogan really is the centerpiece, the key, because that's sort of the new portion of this movie. And he works great around some of those old tropes about the rich as well. And so it all kind of works in tandem. Fennell is a really, really great up-and-coming director. I'm really excited to see what she does next. And she writes and directs these movies. Promising Young Woman is one that I only watched it once, but it's still one that I'll think about from time to time and be like, man, that was, that scene was so great. And I think this is going to be one of those kind of movies. I think maybe even more so because some of the scenes are shocking, I guess, on purpose. I think there's certainly the more sexually charged scenes, I think, are very memorable. And it's funny, like, I don't want to talk in too much detail about this movie because I went into this knowing nothing. I didn't even know the premise of this movie. But I saw the poster. It seemed interesting. Barry Keoghan starred in it. So I'm like, okay, I'm in. Like, whatever this is going to be. I didn't even know it was Emerald Fennell's movie. That's how I really try to go into these movies. Believe me when I tell you. I try to go in with a fresh set of eyes. I hate watching trailers. I don't even really like to know the plots of a lot of these movies. So this was a real treat for me. Now, I will say the ending, the quote unquote twist, which of course we're not going to get into, I was not that surprised by. I will admit I was shocked by, I guess, how sprawling it was. That's all I'm going to say about that, I guess. But I was not necessarily shocked, I think, maybe as I was supposed to be about that. And yeah, because of the sort of, some of these scenes are just kind of over the top for being over the top. That, are they really saying anything? Some cases, yes. Some cases, maybe not. Some cases, yes, about the obsession and the sexualization of some of the characters, but was it also for shock value? Yeah, I think so. But overall, I think this was a real treat of a movie. And maybe I would feel less about it if I did see The Talented Mr. Ripley. I don't know. I keep reading sort of comparisons in some of the movie groups I'm in on Facebook about, oh, well, this is just The Talented Mr. Ripley. But then other people are like, oh, this is my favorite movie of the year. I'm certainly not quite as positive as that on it. I think it's not quite as good as Promising Young Woman, but Emerald Fennell is definitely promising, and I look forward to what she does next. I leave Saltburn with an A-, and you can check this out, like I said, right now on Amazon if you missed it in theaters. All right, thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time. Bye.